Hi, George Williams, founder and CEO of Reliability here to talk about our building block within our operational domain. The last building block in our operational reliability domain is process balancing. Wow, I got to balance a lot of processes. That's not what that means. So, process balancing is ensuring that the bottleneck exists where it is supposed to exist. What does that mean? Well, your palletizer should never be the bottleneck of the plant. It should normally be whatever is the filling machine if you are packaging. And so we want to make sure that the bottleneck is in the right place. If you have a process where you're frying or cooking the product, that's normally where the bottleneck in the plant should be. You should be able to feed it enough quantity of raw material, and you should be able to pack it out faster than it goes through that cooking process or whatever the product processing step is. If you're taking raw goods and packaging them, the fill machine should typically be where the bottleneck exists. All conveyance systems downstream should move faster so that you can have control of the product, create product separation, and maybe even buffer areas if necessary, which you should not need, further downstream. But everything post where the bottleneck is supposed to be should operate faster. Everything before where the bottleneck should be able to move at rate equal to or greater than the bottleneck. Now, making sure the bottleneck is in the right place is really about the engineering design of the plant and making sure that your product, your operational plan is to whatever the bottleneck was designed to within the plant. If your bottleneck is someplace else, we have to use tools like problem-solving skills and root cause analysis and defect elimination, or put standards in place for things like center lining and SOPs on how we operate, and making sure our operators are trained. So we want to make sure the bottleneck is where it needs to be and that we are managing that critical component or that critical station to ensure its maximum capacity. Everything else outside of it needs to operate a little bit faster. It's much like in project management, your critical path. The bottleneck of the plant is the critical station within the plant. It needs to be in the right location, and we need to manage our losses to that critical location.